My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back to Slay the Spire. We're going to be continuing with the Ascension grind. 14 yet again. 6 max HP for 350 gold. Is there an early shop on a good path? I mean, there could be. There definitely could be. And it'll help me get the early aggression that I might need rather in order to... I wasn't going to be able to defend this turn anyway, so it's going to be taking 16. It'll get us the early aggression that we might need in order to try and get through the elites that are going to be upcoming. I'm pretty happy to remove a defend now that I've added a deceive reality there. Ooh, the ability to get through elites. I mean, like... Sling of Courage, Bag of Marbles, Wallop seems great. Each and every single one of those is pretty damn incredible for us. So the goal here is just get a ridiculous amount of... Oh, another Deceive Reality. That's pretty powerful. Get a ridiculous leg up on all of the enemies here in the first floor by killing all of the elites. Somehow I think that's going to be okay. Shovel, you can now dig for elixir rest sites. And probably none of those. Actually going to dig here, getting the Smiling Mask. The Merchant's card removal service now always costs 50 gold. That's actually important because the shop is up soon. I'm definitely going to want to play some Deceive Realities before I wake up the Log Ball in here. I can have 2 extra energy if I use Vigilance on this turn. On a later turn when I pivot into Eruption. So sure. Because we'll probably get the Vigilance this turn. And if we don't, Wallop is good enough. Well, it's almost good enough. Safety will do. There's the Vigilance. Oh, that's another Wallop. So I guess Wallop and safety. Wallop is so good in a Wrath build. Sundial, every 3 times you shove a draw pile, gain 2 energy, as well as the Emerald Key, Tranquility Collect, and Fasting. Probably a pass here. Nunchku, every time you play 10 attacks, gain an energy. Sure. Not sure we'll need that much extra energy, but I'll take it. So there's been a change where mantra stacks that are in excess as you enter Divinity no longer disappear. And for that reason, well, okay, by the way, this is also the symbol for 100% completion in this game. That's that's neat and a little bit niche. So Devotion has become a lot better because getting 3 stacks of Devotion that are all upgraded is now almost permanent 100% uptime rather than 50% uptime of Devotion. Devotion, rather, Divinity. But I'm still thinking it's probably Crush Joints and card removal here. We do want to start getting some strikes out of this deck, but at the same rate, with the Wallop and 2 Deceive Realities, I think we can take a defend out. We could even consider a Flying Sleeves at this point. In fact, I'll consider it so heavily I'll take it. I'm ideally now looking for a couple of halts. Ooh, yes! Okay, my earlier misplays with respect to... taking some early damage, now completely wiped under the rug. Lovely. I'd like another Wrath entry in this deck. That would be pretty helpful for us. That'll do though, in the meantime. Thanks, game. I don't really want to add the Curse of Doubt to this deck. It's going to be so long until I can remove it, and I don't want it in my deck against the boss, especially in a Wrath deck. Best I can do this turn. This is setting up for the Wallop Crush Joints next turn. Well, it'd be Miracle Crush Joints, Wallop Kill. Meal Ticket, whenever you enter a shop, heal 15 HP, as well as Alpha, Deus Ex Machina, and Protect. It may be none of these. We already have enough defense added to the deck in the single Halt and 2 Deceive Realities right now, as well as Wallop, by the way. Do not discount Wallop as a defensive item. None of the rest of those add significant amounts to this deck. Upgrading Eruption so that it's lower cost, or upgrading Crush Joints. Actually, it's upgrading Crush Joints, especially because the Slime Boss is my final. This gives me 2 different turns that I can draw the Crush Joints on and still have a good time. Okay, we'll get it this turn. Crush Joints, Eruption, Strike, Flying Sleeves, Miracle, Strike. Definitely had to go for something along those lines. Yeah, I'll take the 24, rather, the 12 here. Just so that these individual targets afterwards are easier to kill. Okay, Crush Joints, then Flying Sleeves, and finish out the fight. Lovely. So, I've had a couple of comments that were like, I don't really understand the beta art for Blasphemy. That's the Snecko Eye, and this is a trash can. I've interpreted it as the, I've interpreted it as the Snecko Eye being dragged into the recycling bin icon in Windows, implying that the Snecko Eye is trash, and calling the idea that the Snecko Eye is trash Blasphemy. I don't think we need Divinity in this deck, though. Pray or Signature Move? It could be Signature Move. We don't have that many attacks in here, and we do have a little bit of Energy Pump as well. Sure. That'll help us close out fights. You can no longer rest at rest sites. I mean, I'm not really planning on resting at rest sites. I may want to go for the Holy Water instead, right? It'll help me activate Crush Joints, you know, at will, but it'll also make sure that the Signature Move is playable the first time I draw it. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that happily. I'm not planning on resting at rest sites because obviously I'm planning on using the shovel instead. In an ideal world, at least. Definitely start down here. It's a fine turn, I guess. Hopefully, this is much more aggressive. Yeah, there we go. That'll do. All of our past stuff was left at the very end there. Ancient Potion plus Flex Potion is a immediate dunk of a boss, so we'll take those two. If you're in Wrath, deal 3... apply 3 vulnerable to all enemies, otherwise enter Wrath. Another Wrath entry. More than happy to have it. At the start of each turn, add a Smite into your hand. Tantrum. Deal 3 damage to a random enemy 3 times. Enter Wrath, shuffle this card into your draw pile. Wheel Kick. Probably not Wheel Kick. That's going to be really bad for the signature move. So we'll battle him. I'm honestly actually fine to take the Dramatic Entrance here with the vulnerability on all enemies at the start of the turn. Do that and remove a normal strike. I'll take a path that has one fewer elites, but... Oh god, really? Do I want to throw out the safety as well? No, the turns are only going to get more aggressive from here on out. Yeah, I'm going to take a path that has a bunch more rests and one fewer elites than the other path, because I have the ability to benefit from those rests similarly. Okay, let's enter Wrath. Make you vulnerable. Halt. Defend. Miracle, miracle, strike, strike. Got him. If you're in Calm, draw 3 cards, otherwise enter Calm. I'm not really going to want Calm in this deck. This is my attempt to make the previous deck archetype I was going for work, I guess. In some way, at least. I'm going to get a Deceive Reality out as well to hold a safety in hand, just so that we don't... So we have some resilience against just getting screwed on the draws. There's more aggression in the deck, so we knew we were fine. Don't need another Indignation. Consecrate would just be a little bit more AoE. The deck is currently lacking that. This is the event I was looking for, specifically for duplicating Wallop or Signature move, so let's see if we get the Necronomicon. Got him. We'll upgrade Signature move because that'll allow us to just lock enemies out of fights really quickly here. We have to kill the backliner there first, right? Now, Wallop is still left in the deck. That would be a great draw. Would have been a great draw, rather. Okay, so I have 12, 16, 28, 7, 35, just short of lethal. But I need to kill at least one of the targets this turn to lower the incoming damage. So we'll pop the Flex Potion. Not too pleased about that. But it happens. White Beast statue. Potions always appear in combat rewards as well as vaults. Vault will not double cast, but it's still pretty good. Choose your bracelet. Normal enemy encounters are no longer encountered. Question mark rooms. Probably not that necessary. Let's be real. Frozen Egg. Whenever you add a power card to your deck, upgrade it. Sure. Transform Strike. Hopefully getting... Ooh, lessons learned. Yes, please. That get double played as well. Oh, lovely. I didn't really want a high cost attack included in my deck, but if I have to get one, that's the one I want. Holding safety is really important here, especially because I'm not yet vulnerable, but I will be. If I throw out one strike, I can throw out the other one? Sure. It's just 2 plated armor off the enemy. As well as some HP, I guess. Yeah, Wallop will always make those turns pretty damn good. Flying Sleeves is probably a cut from this deck at this point as well, by the way. Sash Whip. I don't really want to use it, actually. Weakening the enemies is really nice, though. I need to get over my aversion to using it. We'll take it. Can I guarantee another cycle through until lessons learned? Maybe. We'll try it. We'll try it. Given that I almost certainly take damage next turn, this is getting harder to do. We're almost certainly going to vault next turn. That's my reliance here. You can see the Necronomicon triggered there, but it won't actually have the effect of duplicating. There's lessons learned. Am I actually going to be able to use it for the kill? I suspect not. Yeah. After all that, I actually can't use it for the kill. Damned weakness. Another halt might be too much here. I'll take it, but I'm a little wary of it. Got the Ancient Potion for a Liquid Bronze here. Nice. Indignation and the Dramatic Entrance on the first turn is extremely good. I'm mainly just going to be straight up killing the backline here. Uh-huh. That'll do it. It's boss fights that the Wrath build, like, gets to and then stops at. It's always boss fights. I'll take Devotion here, I think, actually. Oh, that's if it's played after an attack. Right, of course. Okay, so I basically don't want to change into Wrath form unless I'm about to kill, but that doesn't seem tenable. Alright. Double up on Eruption. Consecrate. Flying Sleeves, Miracle Wallop. Oh. I know what I just said, but also, damage. It's pretty much my exact perspective there. The enemy choosing not to attack for this many turns in a row is truly absurd. I really wish I'd stayed. Okay. I mean, we're frankly doing quite well, so... No, okay. I need to learn not to tempt fate. I'll have a bunch of extra energy this turn at the absolute least. Yeah. Doubling up on signature move is how we're going to close out these fights against bosses, but we haven't got consistency of drawing it at the moment. Frankly, if we didn't kill this turn, like, I am pretty sure we just lose. So I'm pretty happy to take the risk. The best I can do defensively this turn is Vigilance, Safety. That gets me 20 block. The enemy halves their damage. Back down to 23 by 2 is 46. I block for 20. I live. Just. Actually, I can also Sash Whip. Sash Whip. Consecrate. Obviously, we're not going to kill with just Eruption and then Flying Wrath here, so we have to go for something else. There's my Divinity up. Crush Joints, Strike, Signature Move. After... After Flying Sleeves, which is going to kill already. There's another Blasphemy. Well, look, a Ragnarok that doubles its effect is pretty good, but a Ragnarok that prevents me from playing Signature Move is not. It's probably Reach Heaven. Having the Retain through Violence is probably a great way for me to also push through bosses. Inability to upgrade in rest sites. You know what? I'm fine with that. I'm not going to upgrade. I'm going to be digging for new relics instead. Our most important upgrades are behind us. We have trouble with a lot of Elite Sislors. Like, to the point that I'm probably going to try and avoid fighting any Elite Sislor. That doesn't count as having killed an enemy, unfortunately. It's only if you kill the final enemy on the field that does that one count. Which is not, you know, cool at all. And shouldn't be how that is. But it is. That'll do. Taking 6 damage in order to close this fight out is fine. That'll do. I'd love another copy of Wallop in the deck, though. Pre-upgraded Sash Whip, yes. Fine. Energy Potion as well. Chemical X. The effect of your X cost cards are increased by 2. Probably no on that one. Lizard Tail. When you would die, heal to 50% of your max HP. Works once. That's probably a yes. That'll probably save us in the boss fight. Upgrade all cards you normally heal. Yeah, that's suicide. Let's not kill ourselves here. Weakening the enemy is pretty important. It'll also draw me extra cards. Vigilance, halts, consecrate. Reach Heaven, doubled up. I can't pass up the trigger of the Necronomicon. You can't do that. I'm pretty certain it's illegal. Good, happy to hold those safeties. Crush Joints. Sash Whip. Halt safety through violence. Good kill. Thread and Needle started combat with 4 plated armor is pretty impactful. Drop that weakness for extra vulnerability because it's a little harder for us to get. I would take Bowling Bash, but the final boss doesn't need it here. Can't take that much damage. Enlightenment is actually negative ultimately for us. We'll take Thinking Ahead because there's no reason not to here. Unless I expect to fight a Gremlin Knob. Take 4 damage here in order to draw a bunch of cards. And also kill the most frustrating enemy here to kill. Alright. Rest of the fight should be pretty easy though. Game 9 block. If the last card played this combat was a skill, draw 2 cards. Sure, we do need a little bit of extra block in this deck at this point. Also drop that for the Bottled Miracle because it could be more important. I don't know. Mercury Hourglass. At the start of each turn, deal 3 damage to all enemies. Lose the max HP there. I'm hoping for a shop. I'm still hoping for a shop, but now it's just because I want the heal from the meal ticket. It should be doubling up Reach Heaven. Doubling up Eruption isn't actually that much damage here. To the point that maybe I don't even use Eruption. I suspect I don't. Especially because it's going to be real difficult to defend against the enemy's incoming damage anyway. I don't need to vault this turn. Actually, slightly better served by not doing it. Because now I still have vault left in my deck. Thinking Ahead pops that back. We'll crush joints. I'll learn a lesson, fine. There's 1 through violence. That's enough. Only just, though. That for the Entropic Brew, and hard pass again. Skip the Elite one more time. I don't want to lose any more max HP. I'm happy to rest if it comes to that. At the start of boss combat, heal for 25 HP. Never mind. That'll do it for me. This is gonna be a like Roth speedrun. Oh, how dare you! I would have skipped this entire event if I had access to the ability to do so. Ugh. Rude. Yeah, lessons learned is never going to be used for the kill in this fight. We got very little effect out of lesson learned, unfortunately. Let's get into Wrath. Consecrate, Sash Whip, Signature. Being in Wrath form is fine for this fight, as long as you have a decent amount of attacks in your deck. Of which we do. Also, having the Through Heavens both cycled into my deck was really important there. Again, we'll leave Thinking Ahead until later, because we don't need to do anything extra that turn. There's a Through Violence. Sweet. That's a fine fight right there. Master Reality. Whenever you play a card that retains, deal 5 damage to a random enemy. Well, we have 1. And the through violences. So, no. That'll be a no. Final thing we'll do will be digging up another relic. Ornamental Fan. Whenever you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 4 block. Yeah, actually pretty useful here. Keep the enemy vulnerable. Entropic Brew. Seeing if I get anything more important. We don't, unfortunately. 1, 2, defend, halt. Well, I'm going to overdraw on this turn, but that's fine. I really want to go aggressive right now. Miracle thinking ahead, see what we get. I mean, I can leave Wrath at the end of the turn. So we'll Indignation, Sash Whip, double signature, Miracle Vigilance at the end of the turn. Enemy transforms right now. And I have another vulnerability potion for afterwards. Yeah, I don't want to continue digging into my deck right now. Don't want to increment any time up. Get that vulnerability reapplied. I'll leave the vault in the deck definitely here. It's going to be much more important later. Oh, look! It's going to be much more important right now, apparently. And my weakness even wears off. Lovely. And I kill this turn. Indignation, Flying Sleeves, Consecrate, and double signature for the kill. So this is the run that I was trying to do last episode. 2 different times I failed at doing this run last episode. So what was I missing that I had access to this time? More ways to achieve a payoff in a boss fight. So this is the consideration that I made at the end of the last episode. How do I close out a fight in Wrath deck against bosses that have larger HP pools so I can't just stand there and tank their hits for that long? Also, I've tried to do a little more predicting of this is what they're probably going to be doing next turn. In the Time Eater fight there wasn't really that much of that because the Time Eater fight is much less deterministic. But especially against the... what's his name? Especially against the champ, there were a lot of those circumstances where I was like, I probably got a good read on what they're doing next turn. Probably got a good read that they're going to execute next turn because that's, you know, deterministic. They're going to attack after the execute almost certainly as well for a decent amount because I'm still vulnerable. So those kinds of considerations were going on in the background while I was trying to run through. Modifications that I would make to this deck, I'd probably, like, I couldn't change the lessons learned because it was a result of a transformation. But it honestly didn't provide that much to us. Indignation, similarly, did not provide that much to us. It was a Wrath entry trigger at absolute best. So, a crescendo. Like a bad crescendo. That said, I didn't find crescendos in this run. So sometimes a bad crescendo is the best crescendo you can get. Another thing this run had going for it was obviously the Necronomicon and the signature move bonus. But a large amount of that is knowing that I want to go for question marks on this floor because question marks on this floor have the possibility of the Cursed Tome event, which has the possibility of the Necronomicon, which is very good for this character. Another thing that this run had over others is that I added more AoE in. They're, you know, a little weak, at least numerically. But especially when everyone else is vulnerable and when you're in Wrath, it's pretty significant. Reach Heaven was also significant in ending the champ fight as well, getting that through violence, despite the fact that the through violence has never really appeared when I wanted them to. And I think the thing that's like largest in difference between this and the previous run, previous attempts. By the way, also, I would have lived had the lizard tails. I could have just lived and killed later. But the sash whips. If I am going to be in Wrath, I need to find better ways to mitigate damage than just relying on killing my enemy really quickly or having a bunch of halts or having Vault. I basically need to have all of my enemies weak at all times to mitigate the doubling of the damage that I'm providing. But that's our Ascension 14 victory, getting us to Ascension 15 now for the moment. My name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time? Next time work for you? Yeah, next time.